Now let us study about the seed viability of a seed. So, what do you mean by viability of a seed? So, it is nothing but the seed, the capacity of a seed which will live longer period or a shorter period to germinate. That is nothing but the viability of a seed. So, the viability of a seed, it is the ability of the seed to germinate or to produce the seedling. It is called as seed viability. So, the process, that is we can also define as it is a period of viability which will live longer. That means the capacity of a seed which will be live longer or a shorter period to germinate. This is nothing but the viability of a seed. So, do you think the viability of a species will be same in all the species? No, it will be vary. That means the viability of a seed will be vary from one species to the another species. That means the period of viability varies from one species to the another species. So in few species it will last for the few months. That means the viability of the seed will be lost for the few months. So seeds of a large number species live for a several years. So now with a large number of species they will live for a longer period. So that is we have been recorded. It has been the viability of a seed has been recorded in two examples. So we will study with the two examples which been recorded for a more years. So the viability of a seed in a viability of a seed. First example is the Lupinus articus. So, Lupinus articus, it is the oldest seed. It is the oldest seed which is excavated from Arctic tundra. Which is excavated from the Arctic tundra. So, this seed is germinated. So, of an estimation of years of about 10,000 years of dormancy. So, that means they have a 10,000 years of estimated record of the Lupinus articus. The second one is the Phoenix dactylifera. The Phoenix dactylifera, which is a date palm. So, it's about 2000 years of estimated record. It is of about 2000 years of estimated record. So, which is discovered during the archaeological excavation at King's Herod Palace near the Dead Sea. So, it was discovered during the archaeological excavation at King's Herod Palace at near the Dead Sea. So these are the two examples for the viability of a seed. So they may ask for the 2 marks. What do you mean by viability of a seed? Or they may ask for the examples. So give an example for the viability of a seed. So this is very much important. Next we will study about the fruit. So, fruit, what do you mean by fruit? It is nothing but the ripened ovary. So, the ripened ovary, or we can also call it as what? It is the end result of the post-fertilization. The end result of the post-fertilization is nothing but the fruit. It is also, we can simply define as it is a ripened ovary or it is a pericarp. So, what do you mean by pericarp? The wall of the ovary. This pericarp can be defined as what? The wall of the fruit which will develop from the wall of the ovary. The wall of the fruit yavadrinda develop agirutte, the wall of the ovary. Adanna navu enanta kariತೀವಿ pericarp. So these pericarp has 3 layers. So outer epicarp, middle mesocarp, inner endocarp. So they have 3 layers: epicarp, mesocarp and the endocarp. So depending on the, that means based on the nature of the pericarp. So whether the pericarp it is fleshy or dry, it is of 2 types. That is fleshy fruit and the dry fruit. So the fleshy fruit means the pericarp should be fleshy. Dry fruit means the pericarp should be dry. The example for the fleshy fruit is orange, mango, etc. are the example for the fleshy fruit. Dry fruit, it is groundnut, mustard are the example for the dry fruit. So, based on the nature of the pericarp, there are two types, that is fleshy fruit and the dry fruit. Fleshy fruit is the pericarp should be fleshy. Dry fruit is the pericarp is dry. Example, orange, groundnut. Now, we will discuss about the types of a fruit. So, there are two types of fruit. So, first one is true fruit, second one is the false fruit. So, there are two types of fruit, true fruits and the false fruit. So, what do you mean by true fruit? So, true fruit is nothing but the fruit which is formed only fertilization, that means only from the ovary, that means the fruit which is formed from the ovary, that is nothing but the true fruit. So, example for the true fruit is mango and the orange are the two examples for the true fruit. So, we can also say that, we can also define as a true fruit in the development of ovary, that means the development of ovary after the fertilization. So, after the fertilization, when the ovary is developed, it is called as true fruit. Example is what? Mango and the orange. The false fruit is the fruit which is formed from the floral parts other than the ovary. It is nothing but the false fruit. It is nothing but the false fruit. What do you mean by false fruit? The fruit which is produced from the floral parts other than the ovary, that is nothing but the false fruit. Example for this, apple, strawberry are the example. True fruit here, mango and the orange are the two examples for this. Next we will study about the parthenocarpic fruit, or we call as seedless fruit. We call as seedless fruit. So, here what will happen? The fruit which will develop, that means the fruit will develop without the fertilization. The fruit which is developed without the fertilization, that is nothing but the parthenocarpic fruit or seedless fruit. So, or we can also define that the ovary which will develop, the ovary which will develop into fruit without fertilization. Fertilization agdene fruit ovary develop ಆಗುತ್ತೆ fruit, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? parthenocarpic fruit. So the classical example it is for this, it is banana. So we will like so much of seedless fruit, right? We want grapes should be seedless, pomegranate should be seedless, right? So that is, so this can be induced by the application of what? Synthetic hormones. By the application of synthetic hormones like IBA and NAA. So IBA is what? Indole butyric acid, and NAA means it is naphthalene acetic acid. So these synthetic hormones has been induced, applicable and induced to the parthenocarpic fruits. Understood? To get the parthenocarpic fruit. So it is a synthetic hormones. So this is about the parthenocarpic fruit. So what do you mean by parthenocarpic fruit? It is nothing but the fruit which will develop without fertilization, or we can also say that ovary which will develop into fruit without fertilization, that is nothing but the parthenocarpic fruit. So example for this, banana. Next we will study about a special mode of reproduction. So apomixis and polyembryony are the two types of, are the two special mode of reproduction, are the two special mode of reproduction. So what do you mean by apomixis? Apomixis is nothing but the process of production of seed ವಿತೌಟ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗದೇನೆ ಸೀಡ್ ನ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಅಪೋಮಿಕ್ಸಿಸ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಟೈಮ್ and most of the sexually reproducing plant alli we come across the two important events, right? Two important process. One is what? Meiosis and another one is fertilization. That is nothing but the syngamy, right? Syngamy, right? So this is the meiosis will transfer, means the meiosis will transfer the diploid gamete producing cells into haploid gamete. So meiosis will transfer the diploid gamete producing cells into haploid gametes. So this what do you mean by fertilization? It is nothing but the fusion of male and the female gametes which will result in the zygote. So they will form a zygote. So these two process will be eliminated, will be skipped in apomixis, will be skipped in the some of the plants. So this will be skipped in the some of the plants. So what will happen? So after that, so the sexually reproducing plant we called as amphimixis. Amphimixis, that means sexually reproducing plant we call as amphimixis. So this amphimixis is replaced by apomixis, that is asexual reproducing plant. So it is a asexually reproducing plant. So the plant which is produced from the apomixis we call as apomicte, which is called as apomicte. So the word, the term apomixis was coined by Winkler in 1918. So what do you mean by apomixis? It is the process of production of seed without fertilization. That is nothing but the apomixis. Apomixis, which is also a asexual reproduction. So the organism which is produced from the apomixis is called as apomicte. The apomixis was coined by Winkler in 1918. So this is about the apomixis. It is, they may ask for the 3 marks or the 2 marks or the 1 marks. So what do you mean by polyembryony? So it is nothing but the development more than one embryo. It means development of more than one embryo in the seed. It is nothing but the polyembryony. So it is this is very common in the gymnosperms, but it is rare in the angiosperms. So it is commonly seen in the gymnosperms and it is very rare in the angiosperms. So the polyembryony, for the example for the polyembryonies is the orange seed, and it is common in the lemon seed. Understood? So you can see, so this was first discovered by Antony van Leeuwenhoek in 1718 in the orange seeds. The polyembryony was first discovered by the Antony van Leeuwenhoek in the orange seeds in 1718. So these apomixis and the polyembryony, which will play an important for the plant breeders and also in the horticulture. So where they can produce a new variety. So the farmers can keep using this hybrid seeds to raise the new crop year after year. They can use. That means they have a reduced cost. Means the cost will be high, right, for the hybrid, for the production of a hybrid. So what will be happen? The reduced cost will be, which will be less when compared to the other. They will maintain the hybrid vigor. So this play an important role for the plant breeders as well as in the horticulture. So this will end with the sexual reproduction in the flowering plants. So this is the very important lesson. They may ask for the 5 marks, 3 marks, 2 marks. So everything it is very important here. So in most of the NEET questions also they may ask in this lesson. So this will end with the lesson. Next, we will from tomorrow onwards we will discuss with the human reproduction.